Additionally, what else could cause overspending is, of course, unplanned activities. For example, you had planned to take your team to your family to maybe Naivasha, and then whilst you are there, you have decided to overindulge. You have gone beyond your budget as you're trying to make sure that your wife and children think you're the best dad in the country. So you're overindulging. You are going outside your budget. But primarily, there are two things. One, you are trying to impress people. Mm-hmm. Three, and here there are two categories. You're either going up country to impress your villagers, your family, or you're actually managing your family through debt. You're actually taking them on expensive holiday trips, which you had no plan, you are not planned for. Or sometimes you are spending more than your savings so that you can be able to impress your families. Ideally, it's trying to meet expectations that you had not foreseen. Yeah.
As a digital lender, do you see a spike, or an increase or an interesting interest in digital lenders like yourself, like Ngao Credit, especially in this festive season? Coincidentally,
there's a very big shift, especially in our country, because in the past, we have been, I think even last 3 to 4 years, maybe it could be a consequence of the very difficult times we are living in financially, but there is a crunch in terms of the borrowing around the festive season. Yeah. Remember that shortly after the festive season, people go into school opening, and so we would expect as lenders that we will have a high uptick of these loans during this festive season. But Kenyans are changing, something is changing. In fact, if we think about budgets, people are planning, they plan January in December. And so if somebody is going to get a bonus, they're not likely to borrow from you because they are trying to live within their bonus and their salary to be able to make sure that they can pay either school fees for the children come January or entertain the family. Additionally, we also see there's also a culture of, we'll call them the middle class, that don't want to travel up country. They want to go on holiday maybe in Mombasa and Naivasha. And some of them have actually saved up. I think there's Lipa Pole Pole being afforded by these tour companies in Kenya. So there's a small shift towards not borrowing over the holiday season, which of course most digital lenders by now could have observed. It's a common trend across a lot of the players within my space. I don't know about banks, but this is where people are getting the bonus, the 13th check. So the appetite for digital loans is not as high. However, I note with concern that most of the reason why people are also not able to borrow is because these services are not available at the palm of your hand. So majority of players like Ngao, you'll see they have developed an app. You'll see your bank is encouraging you to use either a loop or another app, so you're able to access on the go. But typically, there's a slowdown in uptake of financial services, especially around the holidays, and this holiday in particular. So the demand is not as high as maybe 5 years back. Okay. That space is shrinking.
So in that same breath, when are we seeing the uptick in interest in